and welcome to the relatable pit today! Yay! Today, me and Mia are exchanging relatable TikToks with each other, and hopefully you guys will find something relatable in these TikToks as well. Okay, 16-year-old me in the back of the 20-year-old's car with a dead phone going 90 miles an hour while my mum thought I was out.
Yes!
So accurate. Oh my god. The shit you would actually do on those sleepovers.
Yeah, sorry, Mom.
Honestly, my mum's in the next room. I don't even want to talk about some of the stuff I got up to. I'll get told off because I am living like a 15-year-old again. Sometimes I come out of recording these videos and my mum's like, you were swearing a lot in that video.
Oh, the potty mouth! Oh. This is why I can't live with my parents ever. They never stop being your parents, do they?
Literally, I had it the other day. I was playing some Baldur's Gate. It was probably about like 10:30 and my mum came in the room and she was like, you do know you've got work tomorrow, don't you? I was like, yes. It might be time to think about going to bed then.
Bless her. They care.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why they act like that. But, Mom, I'm a grown-ass woman in my 30s.
Literally.
So this is me every time I stay in a hotel with a balcony.
Wow. So high up.
Yeah.
Jump off! Jump off!
Ah, yes, intrusive thoughts. Love them.
We may love them, but we do not listen to them, Mia. We do not listen.
Oh, hell no. Yeah, don't listen to them. If I listened to my intrusive thoughts, I would definitely be in jail. But I think it's the ones where you're in a high place, people get them even if they're not prone to intrusive thoughts, because it's the body's way of kind of like taking care of itself. It's like, if you were to fall off this high place, it would be bad. So be careful, okay?
Yeah. I'm gonna put the fear of God into you now.
So I think this next one is a little bit specific, where I'm pretty sure that some people in the audience watching our videos feel like I look like I'm annoyed to be here. And sometimes when I'm editing, I also feel that way when I look at my face. So this is in relation to that.
Mia, before you play.
Yeah.
I literally cannot look at the screen because that mask is so scary.
I didn't even consider it scary. I'm just like, haha, this is relatable. Oh dear. Well, we'll get through this quickly then.
I feel good. This is fun. I am having fun.
That is basically it, because when my smiley face turns off, I'm just like...
I completely understand the point you're making. I do, however, just know that face will haunt me for the rest of my days.
Oh, sorry, I didn't find it scary at all.
I do completely understand what you mean. I think it's, again, maybe relating back to what we were talking about earlier.
The
about
neurospiciness!
Neurospicy. Yeah, I feel like that sometimes when I come home from work and I kind of step over the threshold and it's like, you know, when your face just drops, so I'll be like, ha ha ha. And then, like, all life is sucked out of me.
Okay, so trying to beat the white people eat beige food allegations by giving my best poker face eating a buffalo chicken wrap from the grocery store. My nose is running, my mouth is on fire, my vision is blurry. Oh. I don't know what the buffalo chicken wrap is.
Me either, to be honest, but listen. The level of spice tolerance I have, the bar is not in hell, it's like in Tartarus. To the point where if I put pepper on my food, I'm like, it's spicy.
Why is it spicy?
But it's just really funny because every now and again I'll make the mistake of being like, this sweet chili wrap will be absolutely fine. You know, it's not even spicy. Cut to me 5 minutes later, snot pouring out my nose, sweat pouring out my forehead, steam coming out my ears, and I'm just like, why am I like this?
Which, you know what makes it weird is that, like, British people are very fond of Indian food.
It's
so do you have, like, your own brand of Indian food that is completely not spicy? How is it so popular?
It's a really good question, actually, and it's really interesting because you're absolutely right. Indian food over here is super popular. It's really funny, though, because I feel like a lot of people view it as a challenge rather than they view it as as a actual, like, nutritious dinner. So what you'll find is if you do go to, like, a curry house and, you know, you'll have people like me and I'm just like, can I have the butter chicken, which I believe is just a made-up UK, like, curry dish, which is literally just like chicken with the non-spiciest, like, lovely creamy sauce you can imagine. Is delicious. But then you'll have fucking Barry over in the corner who's like, I will have the vindaloo, or, you know, like the spiciest one that you do. And then, you know, again, cut to him 10 minutes later, low-key having a stroke in the corner of the Barry house. The ambulance is getting
Barry.
called. Like, yeah, Barry,
Barry,
we've told you before.
kid.
Okay, so thinking I look cool and mysterious, but my backpack is doing that thing with the back of my hoodie. Oh, God.
You sent a couple of videos about you being a mysterious girl, so I thought of you when I saw this.
God, no, honestly, it's so true. I really struggle as well because obviously where I'm very tall, I have purchased a few cropped like t-shirts or like cropped jumpers. But obviously, what would be like a cute kind of just maybe below the belly button or, you know, on the belly button level for most people
Yeah.
is under my boobs, basically, for me. And I do this thing, right, where I will like wear it once and be like, spend the whole day, like, you know, pulling it down and be like, I hated everything about that. Will I get rid of it though? No, I'll put it back in my wardrobe and then 2-3 weeks time, go and get it out again and think to myself, today will be different.
The definition of insanity. There we go.
Well, guys, I did it again. I was so scared that I was going to undercook the chicken that I made it taste like rubber. Like a handful of sand from the Sahara Desert.
Oh.
But the reason I put this in relatable was because a couple of the girls in my office started having a conversation about this exactly, where the fear of the raw chicken just means that every time they cook it, it's just destroyed. It tastes like nothing. And obviously we're in the UK, so as we've just discussed, we don't use spices, so it's just a fucking
just a rubber
cooked
for lunch.
white slab of chicken.
I mean, can't you look like guides on roughly how long you should bake chicken for? Surely you can find that information online.
Yes, but that involves me being proactive about cooking, which
Okay, right.
is never going to happen. This was me and you this morning, like 100%.
We started the call and then we were yapping for like an hour. I don't know how long we were yapping for, but we didn't get to video filming for a good while.
No, but also I loved how we did genuinely start like fairly, oh, how was your Christmas? How was your New Year? And then it just purely descended into like fucking talking about Chris Chan or whatever. I have to tell you this story because I feel like this genuinely shows how like chronically online and brain rotted I am. So I was at work the other day, but I was on the phone to a customer. So obviously I had my headset on, so I couldn't hear kind of, you know, conversations around me. And then I finished the call and I could hear some girls and they were talking about Amber Lynn, who's, you know, the girl from YouTube.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, holy shit. Because obviously like it's kind of weird hearing like internet culture IRL. So I was like, oh my God, guys, I didn't know you knew who like Amber Lynn is. Like how long have you been following her for? Like, you know, do you watch her content or do you watch like, you know, the other discourse channels like around her? And they were like, we're talking about the musical 6, you know, like Anne Boleyn, like King Henry VIII's wife. And I fucking almost rolled out of my chair. Like, I just wanted to, like, you know, worm my way, like, across the floor, like, outside, back to my car. Yeah.
She's 24, but living like a retired lady.
Try again?
Yeah. And why shouldn't I be? Like, I'm living my life the way I want to live it, and it's none of your business otherwise.
You and I, we're also living like old ladies, aren't we?
Yes, we are. And actually, that reminds me, Mia, because I need to send you some pictures of my current crochet project.
Yes, I saw a little bit about it. You're making a Bulbasaur right now.
Yes, I am. It's coming along really, really well. I chose to do the red eyes instead of black. So yeah, I'm just stitching all the face stuff on at the moment. But yes, no, I was going to say to you as well, like what projects you've been working on over Christmas, because obviously we both had some time off. So I feel like it was prime arts and crafts time.
I've been reading about how to be a farm girl, baby. I'm learning how to grow tomatoes and all about carrot flies and how not to attract carrot flies to your carrots. They're called carrot flies because they're carrots.
I see the logic behind this. Yes. So this is me every time I have to drive somewhere I don't know. Oh God, the worst.
I'm scared to death. I'm frightened and I don't know what to do. I'm confused and I want to go home.
Yeah. I'm a fairly confident driver now. I would say, you know, I've been driving for a few years. What is it about driving somewhere for the first time where you just lose your goddamn mind?
You know what it is? What? I recently learned what it is.
Oh, tell me.
So I recently drove somewhere where I'd never driven before, right? And I missed a sign, okay? And I ended up driving on the opposite lane.
That's my worst nightmare. That is my worst nightmare, Mia. In
Yep.
fact, I think I've literally had nightmares about that exact situation.
I ended up driving on the opposite lane, and as soon as I realized, I panicked and I started veering to the left, because we drive on the left,
Yeah.
to go back into my lane, and I heard a beep behind me because there was a car driving there, and I panicked, so I didn't check before veering to
Of
the
course,
left.
I get
then
it,
I
yeah.
veered back into the right onto the opposite lane. And I was like, there's gonna be a car showing up any moment now. And you know, the guy behind me had moved back, so I was
Yeah.
like able to go back into my lane.
Thank God, yeah.
I almost pooped myself. And you know what happened?
What?
The next traffic light, the guy that I almost crashed into, he
Yeah.
stopped right next to me on my left.
Did you make eye contact?
I did.
Did
He
say
looked at
anything?
me. He looked at me and he was like, and I was just like, I'm sorry. I am but a girl.
And
So
you-
that's why it's scary, because when you're
Yeah.
driving familiar roads, you know where they merge, you know where they
True.
become one lane, where you
Yeah.
can turn only, and if it's unfamiliar and you miss something, you miss a shitty little arrow on the ground
It's
showing it's the turn
true.
only, you're
Yeah.
screwed.
And actually, funnily enough, I also have a driving TikTok that will be in the list somewhere. So yeah, this will be.
It's actually the next one, I think.
Oh, there we go. Mia, me and you, baby. See?
It's us.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Same wavelength.
yeah.
Christian wavelength.
I'm sure you can relate to this.
You know what? This guy did better than I did. Because I had a similar story where I was trying to parallel park on a very busy road, which is very full, so there's only
Yeah.
space for one lane of cars. And I was running late to an appointment, okay?
Oh, God,
and I
the
had already been
worst.
driving around for a while trying to find a parking space. And I was like trying to parallel park shortly after getting my license.
Oh,
And there was this impatient granny behind me. She was like, beep, 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 because I was blocking the roads while
Yeah.
trying to park.
yeah.
And I almost cried and I drove off. I didn't even commit to the parking job like this guy did. This guy at least committed. I was bullied off of my parking spot. So I said how I got bullied off of my parallel parking spot because
Yes.
of my somewhat timid nature. I feel like
Yeah.
this one ties in a
yeah.
little bit.
I feel like I will be able to relate to this as well.
Do you need assistance po, ma'am?
You guys have Lush in Cyprus?
No.
Okay, Lush is, and I think this is definitely like a company-wide thing because I also hear these stories from like, you know, America and stuff. Lush employees will not leave you alone. You go into the shop and they'll ask you standard, hey, how are you? Do you need any help today? And you're like, no, thank you. I'm just browsing.
Yeah.
And then they will stand there and they will initiate a conversation with you and they will like drag you around the store. But the thing is, you know, I'm sure if you actually just said, hey, thanks, but no thanks, they would respect that. But because, again, like you, I am very people-pleasy,
Yeah.
I will let them yap at me for 20 minutes. I was like, I would have just popped in to look at like one thing. 20 minutes later, I'm still there. My basket is full. I've not said no at any
Oh.
point in the entire interaction.
My go-to tactic has recently been to ask a very specific question. I'll be
Okay.
like, do you happen to have this product, but like in green and
Yeah.
a short? Which is something I didn't see on the racks. I might not even want to buy it,
Yeah.
but it distracts them from me. Or I'll be like, oh, do you know a perfume that smells like blah, 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 blah? And I'll give them
Yeah.
a very specific list of
Yeah.
criteria, and then they'll go start looking for it. Like,
And then you're like, hee hee hee, yeah, like scurrying through quickly, run out the shop. They come back with the perfume and it's just a cloud of dust where you were.
Yes.
Every cell in your body is like, go back to sleep. Like
Yep.
that, oh, that is the
I hate it
worst
so
feeling.
much. My routine when I wake up is I take my crotch pillow that we talked about last time. I roll it up and I put it behind my back and I sit myself up so that I start waking up.
Yeah.
But many occasions when I'm tired enough, I'll just fall asleep while sitting up.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't work.
My wake up technique is, and I know a lot of people have this, you know, the 20 different alarms set for every like 5 or 10 minutes. That's me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, It's true, except for they're just missing, the insane like jolt at the end that wakes you up. Oh my gosh, that's like the scariest thing in the world. I do really enjoy how some TikToks have actually managed to capture the essence of a dream.
I used to fall like that in my dreams, and then my dreams decided to start killing me. So I had to get used to like the dream not stopping when I've made impact.
That's really interesting because I've never like died as such in a dream because rather than falling, I always have a lot of dreams where I'm underwater. I can see the surface and I'm swimming towards the surface, but my lungs are like at breaking point, I'm like, I have to inhale. Weirdly, I'll still be under the water and I take that, involuntary inhale. And then suddenly I realize I can breathe underwater.
Yeah.
That's like really weird.
It's all good. I've had those dreams as well. It's so nice.
Yeah.
You just kind of chill there.
And then you just go from being like terrified to, oh, this is really chill. Like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm 18. I'm 21. Oh, I'm 20. How about you, bro? Oh, I'm 26.
Oh, are you okay? Oh, your wife and kids. God, I'm praying to you. Is everything okay with your body?
Actually, we don't have to pay.
Were you at Stadium Merdeka at
Chill. Can you tell us what it's like doing World War I? You know how to use your phone now. I can teach you.
Can I just share this experience? The most soul-crushing experience I had. We were talking about ages at work, and I told my age, and one of the girls in the office turned around and said, "Oh, Herbie, you're just 4 years younger than my mum." And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go leap out this window now. Bye-bye. Worst thing in the entire world. That is one of the worst things in the world because if you do it at school or like at work or even sometimes just if you're in a public place. I was at my friend from work wasn't working that day, so I went and had lunch by myself and I was in like a little cafe. I took a sip of my drink and I started choking and I was by myself. So but because there were like, people around me, so I was trying to do that thing where I was like I honestly thought I was about to die, but I was also doing the British thing of like, no one look at me, no one acknowledge what's happening to me right now.
Yeah, because like I'm just choking on water. Why is everyone asking me? I mean, I get it. People have died from choking on food, so obviously people are going to be concerned. So anytime I choke on water, I'm like, I'm okay, don't worry about it. And like it might get so bad that I literally might throw up from coughing.
Oh god, yeah.
And I'm like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I just choked on some water. Leave me alone.
Can't you see I'm fine as you're like splatting your own vomit?
Okay? Like my eyes are red, my throat is veiny, I'm just like, ugh. So I usually, if this happens, I have to like run away into a toilet and hide there so I don't scare people.
Everyone's like, I'm rotting in bed. I'm rotting in bed. It's just winter.
Just winter.
It's bed season.
I will never leave. You can't make me.
Oh, crikey, I wasn't expecting that, but...
It is bed season.
I'm not a bed rotter. I'm a sit in my office chair and rot in front of my screen rotter.
Ah, yeah. If you got a laptop, that's the key, because then you can bed rot and screen rot.
Like, there's no way of sitting comfortably in bed.
No, the key is, Mia, you have to rotate like a kebab.
But why would I do that when I can just sit in front of my screen on my chair?
I don't know. Some people like to bed rot. Some people like to screen rot. It's just personal preference. Yeah. I understand that. So when you found the perfect dress, but you're an introvert with no plans. Hell yeah. Yeah, she looks so good. Let's go, lady. Wow. Oh my god, stunning.
I know, right? The toilet aisle.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful. She fuels up her own car. Queen.
No, honestly, I completely get that though, because again, I'm not the most social person. Like, I don't have like a lot of nights out as such. Sometimes you do see like a really nice dress and you're like, oh, and then you end up buying it because you're like, well, if I buy it, I've got a reason to, go out the next time someone asks me. And then what happens is the dress stays in the wardrobe with the labels on for 2 years.
I don't even try anymore. I see a nice dress and I'm like, well, do I ever go anywhere? I leave the house on Sundays to feed the pigeons sometimes. Yeah. But I'm not going to wear this dress to feed the pigeons.
Maybe you should. That's
maybe
your
I
niche
should.
TikTok content, Mia.
Yeah. Putting on nice dresses and feeding the pigeons.
Yeah. I feel like people would appreciate that though.
Yeah, so this is how it feels when your bestie sends you a TikTok about being besties.
Yes.
Oh, it's like, what?
Yeah.
Me? I'm the bestie.
We're the besties.
That is how it feels.
I know. And I know I've said this before and I'm going to say it again, but like there is something so profoundly just sweet and touching when somebody, I don't care how unhinged the TikTok is, the meme is, like whatever, like when someone deposits a little meme into one of my inboxes and I'm like, this means you were thinking about me and that makes me really happy.